Hi Gypsies, this is Joy. I'm going to be doing a reading today about what are people's first impressions of you. And maybe you don't even want to know. I know I don't want to know sometimes. Okay, so, excuse me. So, I've got three choices for the piles. Okay, this is an oblong iridescent kind of shell, and this has got a sort of an engraved texture. It's sort of cool. And then this one here is curved, and it's also got iridescence to it. Okay, so you've got three choices, and think about which one you want to choose, or if you don't want to choose any. But I will see you shortly. Bye, Gypsies. Hi, Group 1. You chose the oblong iridescent kind of orange peachy kind of shell. And we're going to do a reading today of what are people's first impressions of you. Now, of course, you're going to act different if it's in a formal kind of setting like a business, and if you're going for an interview or something, and you're going to be different, I would think, and you're going to also be different with you know, a less formal setting. So I'm going to be doing two readings for each of these, and one will deal with the more formal setting and one will be the informal setting. Okay, so let's begin. I'm going to push this down so you can see the cards. Okay, so the first one is going to be the formal setting. Okay, that's interesting. You've got an upside down 5 of Cups for the formal setting. And then you've got a 7 of Wands for the formal setting. All right. Upside down, spiritual strength. Positive movement forward. And heart chakra. Okay, this is really interesting. So this is the formal setting that you would be in, and people's first impressions of you. Now, you're somebody that doesn't think of life as glass half full. You tend to think of it as glass half empty, which means you're a little pessimistic. So in these formal settings, and in this case, I'm feeling like many of you were talking about like a job interview, something like that. You've before you go in the job interview, it's like you automatically assume you're not going to get it, nobody's going to like you. You've got to watch that because it does come across to employers that you're not special enough or set apart enough from other people for them to want to hire. Yeah, you feel like, and this comes across too, you feel a little persecuted, and in a job environment, what an employer would think is you're going to, yeah, it's going, wow, I feel a lot of turbulence. You feel almost like a victim in these job situations. So you've got to watch how you're answering their questions and stay positive. Now, let's see. When you are on these, and we're going to say job interviews because this is what this feels like. You're very formal. You're not putting forth any kind of sensitivity at all. It just sort of seems very, very cut and dry, almost cold. and maybe that's good with some employers, actually. You probably don't want to act like that in a social setting, but maybe here you're just all business, all business. As well, the spiritual part of you is not showing through either. Okay, so you sort of wall those off in these job situations, which isn't necessarily bad, I guess. There, you have a lot of positive moving forward and moving up within the organization. But you've got to, and this is through, your sheer effort, but perhaps you're working too hard. Especially if you're in a supervisory role, you would come across to the other employees as as cold and not really very concerned about them. And okay, this is what I'm getting. Okay, so yeah, okay, and I'm getting that if you are in charge of people in an office setting, because you sort of wall yourself off and you're not sensitive to the employees' needs, there's a lot of contention among the employees underneath you for your time, and that's going to come around to bite you. That will come around to bite you in the butt. Yeah, eventually it will. So, not that the touchy-feely kind of stuff is necessarily the be-all and end-all, and that's what you should do constantly and all of that. The problem is, if the employees don't feel like you care, they're going to look elsewhere, and they're not going to stick with you. It doesn't mean that you don't have to be tough and firm when you need to, but it's going to help you if they feel like you care about them. And it's going to help you as a leader as well if you are able to have a more positive outlook on what's going on with the company and projects and whatnot. Be confident in your employees. Treat them well, be kind, and be tough when you need to. All right, well that's the more formal setting right there. Okay. Now this one here is going to be more. Let's get these out of the way. A more personal kind of setting. Okay. Okay, all right, so this is a 6 of Swords, and then Page of Cups. These are both upside down, Page of Cups. You know, what I heard when I looked at this card is you seem to be checked out of your emotions. You don't express yourself really well in relationships. And you sort of do feel like a victim. Wow, that does coincide with the other, the formal kind of this reading. Be innocent, be a child, and find that happiness. Find that happiness. It's going to stand you in good stead. I keep feeling like with this card, especially in this particular case anyway, there's a lot of victim kind of mentality that you're feeling, and it may be like a troubled childhood or something. Everybody is not out to get you, and sometimes if you feel like somebody did something intentionally to hurt your feelings, it will just help a ton if you would just talk to them about it And you might be very surprised at their response. A lot of times they won't even be aware that anything's wrong until you act like there's something wrong. So it's way better, less stressful for everybody just to talk about it. This feels like you're closed off though, from talking, and the emotions are so painful for you. You're just checked out. Find your happiness. Find your inner child. Recognition and reward. Once again, this feels, even though this isn't the formal kind of the reading, it feels like that's what you're most familiar with, is sort of more formal kind of situations. You feel more comfortable that way because you're not having to express emotions like in relationships. Okay. Awareness. This is upside down. Yeah. You have closed off your intuition part of yourself. And in order to have a healthy and happy relationship, you've got to open yourself up to your what you're really feeling. You need to be more aware of what your emotions are, why you feel that way, and if you need to, you might want to talk to a therapist or something. Yeah. Truth. Wow. Yeah, I feel for you guys. You feel not real happy with your life. You understand the business part, the more formal setting, a lot more than this. This is confusing to you. But I'm telling you, if you will be honest with your partner, and thereby being honest with yourself, I mean, be really honest. Don't say things that you just think they might want to hear. You be very, very honest, and you just tell them, I'm sorry, I don't really understand what you're feeling. Please tell me, By the way, there's a class, what is that called? Nonviolent communication. It's called nonviolent communication. And it's a wonderful, wonderful workshop that you can take, and perhaps you can even take it online. But that could help both of you in a relationship. It tells you how to communicate. It shows you. And I guess the guy that started this nonviolent communication, he actually was in different countries where they were having problems getting along, different tribes and whatnot. And he applied this nonviolent communication, and it worked wonders. It's not to say you're going to see eye to eye on everything, but what this is designed to do is to let you know that you, or let you project that, yes, you value what they're saying, and vice versa. And sometimes that's all that's needed, because everybody can't always agree, and people know that, but they want to know that they've been heard. And so it's a really valuable program. It feels like you need something like that. You're having trouble connecting with people, and actually even in your business dealings too, although it's not as maybe as a parent, but this is important with your home life and those closest to you. You may have been brought up in a family where emotions were not appreciated. So, but a big percentage of the world has come from dysfunctional families. Okay, so just leave that in the past and just go forward and get these tools under your belt. And I'm telling you, this nonviolent communication or something like that will help you. All you need is to give yourself a chance, and to give those close to you a chance. And you're going to be fine. You will be fine. This is a habit that you've developed, not recognizing your emotions. It's just a habit. Oh my gosh, There you go. It's just a habit that you've developed, and you can unlearn that. You can learn a new habit of learning to speak about your emotions, and it will feel weird at first, but you will get over that. Okay, you will get over that. But I really feel like this group needs to work on that, and you're going to be a lot happier in your life and in your business part of your life as well. All right, let me get off my pedestal before I fall. Thank you, Group 1. This is wonderful, and please let me know in the comments if you like this reading. I appreciate it, and thank you for spending some time with me. Bye, Group 1. Hi, Group 2. We are doing a reading on what are people's first impressions of you. And I believe I said in the first part that there's formal and informal settings, and you sort of put forward a different part of your personality in each case. So I'm doing a reading with each one of those, okay? Now, Group 2, you have chosen this sort of engraved oblong bead. I thought that was pretty. Looks like a totem pole from like Gilligan's Island. Okay, so this is the formal part. We're going to do that one first, and I'm going to bring this down so that we can look at the cards better. Okay, so let's start the moon card. This is the business, the formal setting. Okay. The moon card upside down. Oh my gosh. Wow. When you consider there's not that many cards that I pulled for this, and 2 of them are upside down moon cards. Wow. Okay, the first thing that I'm getting, wow, this is very strong. Very, very strong. The first thing I'm getting is you feel totally out of your depth in formal situations. Oh my gosh, I sort of feel like you avoid them like the plague, and you don't even have a job that is outside of the home. It feels like you want to work at home, you don't want to see other people, you're afraid of the unknown, you're confused. None of it rings true with you, the business kind of environment. You may have come up with been born into a family that was sort of reclusive, and you've never gotten out of that. Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I don't believe in coincidences, and this is no coincidence. Boy, that's strong. That is strong. Okay, so firm foundation. Okay, see how the guy is turned away from us? You did receive, it feels like you received a very firm foundation in your childhood, okay? You were taught about, the importance of hard work to earn your money and taking care of maybe your tools, but you are afraid of facing people. You see how he's facing this ground? He's looking down at the ground. He would rather do that, looking at the ground, than look at people. Wow. Very strong. Okay, so this is how you feel like you want your whole life to be. Harmony, you don't want it to be disrupted, okay, with confusion. And I don't feel like this is a relationship that they're talking about. I think that this is talking about parts of yourself, your male and your female side. It is extremely important for you to not have your regimen upset in any way. You want to know where, your tools are, and okay, everything feels very regimented for you. Everything needs to be perfect. Yeah, you might be a type A personality. Hope. Oh, and that's upside down. You know, okay, so it feels like you're in your little triangle. I would say box, but this is a triangle. So you're inside this little triangle where everything is harmonious and perfect, and you don't want to deviate from that because you're afraid. You're afraid of the unknown. And you know, you're not happy this way. This is not happiness for you. You've got this little bit of hope in your hand, and it's burning out. I don't know if you've got some kind of a psychological something happened to you where you are afraid to go out. You're afraid to meet people. I don't know, but you might want to see somebody about this. I don't know if you get anxiety when you something deviates from your normal routine. I don't know, but okay, and you know what I'm getting to? This triangle has got real sharp points on it. So even though you feel safe in the middle of it and not coming out, these sharp points can stab you. It's like almost like a pointed edge, like a pinprick. This is sad. Yeah. Please talk to somebody about this, okay? Because I feel like you're hopeless, and this is not something that's making you happy. You think it is because this is a way that you've been doing it for a long time, and like I said, you feel safe. But feeling safe all the time and never deviating from your norm, it's killing you. Oh, wow. I'm going to do some Reiki on this group, okay? So let me just pause for a second. And Reiki is like laying of hands, but I'm doing this long distance, obviously, and I'm just sending forth prayers to you. Okay, and giving you a hug. All right, and I hope. Wow. Okay, so that's the formal side. My goodness. All right, let's bring this over here. Now this is the less formal. This would be in informal. Okay. The Empress upside down. King of Wands. Okay. Transformation. Recognition and reward. And this is upside down. And intuition. Okay, so all right, these feel diametrically opposed to each other, which would make a lot of sense. All right, so the Empress is about creativity, lushness, beauty, lots of ideas, the birth of ideas. She's pregnant, and that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what this is about, is pregnancy, but it's about new ideas, evolving, but it's upside down. Okay, it's upside down, and I'm getting the message that your life, this is your formal life, is stagnant. It's almost feeling like a bland kind of thing. And this King of Wands, you know, being in control of your energy and all is not okay. This is what I'm hearing. Control. Give up control. Give up control. So your loved ones, and I don't know if you're in a relationship right now, like a physical kind of relationship, or if this is talking about your family, but it feels like your creativity is being stifled by your wanting to control everything. And I guess that's not a big surprise considering the formal reading that we just saw for you. And I feel like fear is causing this. It's running this whole thing. It's fear. So, you know, the message is to give up control. They're seeing that you, you know, but I am feeling like at least has somebody come in your life, because it feels like that's what's needed, is for you to give up control, and they can see this, you know, whether it's male or female, and they are, because you are in love with them, it feels like you're going through a little bit of a transformation here. Wow, that's sort of wonderful. And it feels like this, yeah, okay. It feels like this person that you're with is an intuitive person, and they feel you. They understand. They understand you. Well, they're not the way that you are, but they understand it. Maybe they grew up with someone that was fearful and controlling. Maybe they did. But it feels like you're going through a transformation. Yeah, this is very nice. This is very nice. And this recognition and reward, it feels like that's something that what you were looking for in your home life, it was not there, and this person is trying to give that to you. I think they it's like they feel like you're thirsty, that you're thirsting for this, and they want to help. My goodness, this is quite a strong reading. But with this transformation card, that really threw me. That would be quite wonderful, actually. Yeah. So if there's somebody in your life, and it doesn't feel like they're pressing you too hard. It seems like they know how to handle. They know how to handle you. They've had somebody in their life that was similar to your personality, and they know what to do. And I think that's wonderful. That's really, really wonderful. Wow. All right, group 2. That's great. I'm glad. I'm glad. All right. Okay, group 2. I hope the best for you. I really do. Yeah. If there's somebody in your life that is sort of on the periphery and you're not sure about them, you might want to give them a chance. You might want to give them a chance. I mean, as long as you feel positive about them, okay? All right. That was fun. Thank you, group 2. And I hope you have a great day. I'd love to hear your comments if this is accurate or not. And I will talk to you later, group 2. Bye. Hi, group 3. This is Joy, and you chose the curved shell, iridescent curved shell, which I thought was sort of cool. Make a necklace out of that. Anyway, I'm going to answer the question in this reading of what are people's impressions of you, and I do realize that people have formal parts of their lives, which is business, and then work and business, and then they also have an informal part, which would be like relationships. So I'm going to be doing the business part first, and the formal setting, and then informal setting reading. Okay, so we'll do 2 readings in one. Okay, so let me turn this down so you can see the cards. Okay, so let's begin. Oh, all right. Now you do realize this is business, right? Okay, Ace of Wands. Wow. Okay. This is upside down, solitude, movement, choices, and decisions, and financial and material changes. With this group here, I'm feeling like you are a real successful person in business. You're not somebody that is a fan of solitude. You like people. You do like people, and it feels like you're a mover and a shaker. And you are doing well financially with your decision. It's like you know what to do. You know how to handle people. You have kinged it. You have kinged it. You are doing great. Wow. In this case, I feel like your male and female side, this particular reading is not talking about like a relationship, a love relationship. This is talking about your male and your female side have melded together well. The female side is your subconscious side. She's giving the information from the subconsciousness to the male side, which would be the action movement kind of part of you, okay? And it's working great, working great. So she's got her hand open. She's giving the information to the male side, and that's how he's moving forward. So it looks like both sides of your psyche are working very well, and yeah, I feel too. In some cases, some of you might be real successful in business in terms of like being head of departments and being very well liked. Very well liked. Yeah. And it's perfect for you because you don't want to work at home. You like to be around people. Wow, this is, it's got such a nice feeling, this reading right here. So that's what I've got for that. Let's go ahead. Okay, Ace of Swords. Okay, this is the informal relationship. This feels like at home. This card right here, it's leading me to think, you're real great and successful with business. You're not so successful at home, at your home kind of relationships to your loved ones. It sounds like you don't have a lot of communication with them, with your loved ones. Okay. And this is upside down, the Hangman. It feels like they would rather that you reverse some of your thinking about about what happens at home and talking to people, because you're not. You're not communicating and you're not talking. You're probably thinking about work because you are so successful at your work and you know what to do. It's easy for you. It's easy. This relationship stuff, with your loved ones, it's not for you. It's just not easy. Base chakra, and that is right side up. Destiny, upside down. That's a pretty card. Upside down. The waiting game. Okay. So it feels like you put your loved ones off. Yeah, it feels like this relationship, this personal kind of relationship, is not as fulfilling for you as you hoped. You know, it feels like you don't want this to bleed into your business life. You want this to be apart and separate. And when you're in your business environment, you don't want any of this to bleed over. And it feels like you might be you might be a little cutting, a little impatient with them, with your loved ones at home. Your base chakra is very open, which doesn't surprise me as far as the business part too, because you definitely are very centered that way. But your heart chakra, and do you see how this has got green and pink in it? It feels like the heart chakra to me, even though this has got destiny in it. It feels like you married somebody, or you're in a relationship with somebody that really was great at first, but it's not deepening because you're not using your communication skills with them. And they're waiting, but how long are they going to wait? So, yeah. And this feels like it's you. You've got your back turned. You're not paying attention to what's really going on. And wow, they're feeling ignored. They're feeling ignored. So, and they remember how wonderful it was when you first met. All right. So, okay, so I'm not perfect. Nobody is. You might want to look at some counseling for this, and that might just save everything, actually. Yeah, it sounds like you need to start paying some attention to what's going on at home, because you know this business thing, it's nice and all that, but isn't this the real focus right here? The business thing is not going to make you happy forever. It's just not. You know, financial success and all that, it's not going to ultimately, at the very end, it's not going to, you know, be fulfilling. It's just not. I mean, what if you go really, really far in your career and you've got all this money and all that, but you've got nothing else? You've got no kind of like love connection. You're not going to be happy. You are not going to be happy. Not ultimately. You won't. So you want to start to pay attention to that. Okay? All right. Thank you, Gypsies. If you would like to leave comments, I'd like to hear what you have to say. And God bless all of you. All right, Gypsies. Bye-bye.